go to here.
Welcome to the Digital Amateur Television Experimenters Night. This is VK7 OTC, the club station of the Radio and Electronics Association of Southern Tasmania. Amateur radio is a worldwide hobby that has many different aspects. Digital television is just one of the many modes and areas that are covered.
Cheers.
Maybe you're interested in becoming involved in the DATV Experimenters Night. You realise that you do not have to be a radio amateur or need any ATV equipment to participate anywhere in the world. Also participate in the night by coming up to the Queen's Domain club rooms. Yes, right on top of the Queen's Domain in the heritage-listed Coast Wireless Station. You never know, we might get you in front of the camera or behind doing one of the many roles during the night. We get underway with our program on a Wednesday night from 7:30 p.m. local time. We'll see you soon. This is VK7 OTC.
Alright, this is VK7 OTC, the club station of the Radio and Electronics Association of Southern Tasmania, with our DATV Experimenters Night, and apologies for that rather fast transition. I have Ron, VK7... Oh, no.
No.
Not yet. Not yet.
No VKs.
Not yet. Not yet. VK7 RC, as in radio control. Welcome, Ron. Now, we have a bit of a special night tonight. We're not spending very much time in the ATV studio, but we're heading to our other room, our OR or our OB, outside broadcast, which is next door, to run through how you convert old LCD monitors to LED lighting panels. And we've had a little bit on earlier, a couple of earlier presentations around this, and Ron's leading the way here. So yeah.
Yeah, it would have been good to recap of the video, the YouTube video, but didn't get that prepared.
Well, we actually have.
I got the link.
I've got turning smashed TVs into realistic artificial daylight.
Okay.
As one of our videos a little bit later.
Okay.
But so what we're going to be doing, just take us through, Ron, the sort of the steps that we're going to be going through in the next room, and we've got a camera set up out in the other room that we'll follow the process through. But what's the process?
Yeah, so most old flat screen monitors, when they've reached their end of their life, they get thrown out or whatever. There's not a lot that can be recycled out of them, unless you. So I suppose the things that wear out in them, like the compact fluorescent tubes,
yes,
when they wear out, if you can replace them with LEDs, then you can rejuvenate the screens and get them going again.
Correct.
So, but if you don't want to use them as an old monitor, then you can repurpose them for flat panel LED lighting, and it has a lot of beneficial effects with all the lenses and filters and
that we'll actually show you.
Yeah,
we'll actually show you.
Yeah.
And we'll show you these compact fluorescent tubes that we're talking about. They are really thin
and fragile,
and that's what I think most of the problems probably are.
Yes, yeah.
So the steps that we actually are going to go through is the first one is obviously the disassembly.
Yeah.
So and there's a few tricks of the trade I think we'll go through to sort of get into, and also the bits that I think we need to be a little bit careful with. And in fact the compact fluorescent tubes are one of the things that we need to be really careful with.
And the other thing is when you disassemble it, all of the sheets of plastic are all in a very specific order. So you need to make sure you put them back the same way. Yeah. Otherwise, it's probably not going to work as efficiently as it should.
Diffusers and lenses and all sorts of things in there. So once we've got it apart, what's the next step?
So then you fit the LED strips once you've taken the compact fluorescent out. You fit the LED strips in and then wire in your extension lead so you can power it.
Yep.
And then place it all back together again.
Okay, and then test it.
Yeah.
And hopefully it all lights up wonderfully. So, and we've got a couple of those that we've done previously. So out there, so the end product. But so that's the sort of steps we're going to be taking you through in the other room, and we've got a camera in the other room that we'll go to in a sec. And so. And we've got Harry. Hello, Harry, and good after morning to you. VK7HXT. Don't let anyone get camera shy in the next room. Hi. There you go. We certainly won't do that, and we'll get a few people on camera and give you hopefully give you a bit of. And hello to David, whose new call sign is VK7DMG, formerly VK7FABE. Hello, David. So good to have you on. So we'll give you some close-ups and some sort of focus points on each bit of the exercise, and then once we get to one panel, I think we'll probably go to the videos and then we'll keep going. And also Hayden, VK7HH Ham Radio DX. Good evening. Who's in next door. So Hayden's here with some very nice ICOM merch. So so thank you Hayden. So what we'll do is we'll head to next door and see how we go with taking the audience through each of the steps. I'll come back in here a few times just to make sure that questions are being asked and all of that sort of thing. And what we might do is I'll take the handheld in, which is on repeater 2. So if there are some things that you want to specifically get us to show you, go on to repeater 2. So yeah, that's what we might do. And then I'll keep checking out the chat channel. So. Big experiment tonight.
Yeah, we don't do this OB very much.
We don't. We should actually do it probably more often, and we'll get there. But so we'll head to the outside broadcast.
They've all gone.
They've all disappeared. And we'll see you in the next room. So. We'll see you out there. So we'll move to our outside broadcast. This is VK7OTC, the club station of the Radio and Electronics Association of Southern Tasmania, with our ATV Experimenters Night. Now.
We had static addresses though for static lists. You reserve DATV reservation. The reason why we did that for staff machines so that we could support, so that we knew what their IDs are.
Where have you gone?
You're disappeared. Come on, you've got to be here.
I will be there, but I just didn't want to. Whatever.
So hello from. Oh yeah.
Pull the door shut.
Oh no, that's all right. I'll turn this down. Then we won't get feedback.
We can't get a picture up on here, can we?
No. I was going to do camera.
So take us through the first step.
So, first of all,
You need a bit more light, maybe?
Oh, no. Oh, did it look all right on the screen? Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Perfect. You can mount it right here.
Sorry, one we prepared earlier.
Old eyes, sorry.
Ah, there we go. So that's what we can see it looks like. Yeah. So first of all, we might go through the different types of panels, so we've got an arrangement of them. So an old monitor that was being thrown out, something's gone wrong with it. And
Ron's been doing dumpster diving.
yeah. So it's quite unassuming, just like it looks like a normal panel. A couple of giveaways. The thickness of it gives an indication that it's an old model compact fluorescent one.
Okay.
So there'll
So
be
the thicker ones are compact fluorescent?
yes, yeah. The more modern LED ones, you can see the thickness of some of these laptops around the place. They have really, really thin line of LEDs that run along them. But these ones will have compact fluorescent ones, which you'll find out once we get these apart. And when you look at the back of this, you've got all the electronics sitting out there, which is like, yeah, fair enough. Another one here that's been pulled apart and all the electronics is in there. But one thing, after going through a few of these, some of them are better than others. And I think the best one that I've come across is this one. I've already taken the electronics off it. The electronics was actually bolted on separately, whereas these ones are an integrated metal pressed thing that goes in there. Now the advantage of this one is you already have a metal plate on the back with screws around the side. And when that comes off, you end up with this. Now, depending on where you're putting the light, you can screw that, drill a few holes in, screw it up on the roof or on a shelf or something like that. Yep. And then when you put the LED panel back in, you just screw it in on the side, and there it is, it's fastened. But then when you've got one that doesn't have that, it's just the example is that one over there, or as the one you've got going. Yeah.
We might turn that off. Oh,
Yeah.
we'll
Oh, you can leave it going, I suppose. Yeah, so here's one that was done earlier.
Yeah.
I'll turn it that way.
Contrast.
There's no way of really fastening that up to the wall.
No.
You can't drill through it. So then you need to manufacture some form of brackets or something, which is just more work to do it. So it's just makes it a little bit more awkward to sort out. So far, these ones, I reckon have proven to be the best.
What brand are those?
Oh, they're all Lenovo, these ones. So they're the oldest ones that
They're
were.
just a different sort.
Yeah, just different models.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. So, as we're pulling them apart, Paul's been disassembling this one over here. How far have we got with it?
Well, I've managed to separate.
Yeah. One part that we don't need is the LCD part of the screen, because that's got
Chloride panel.
Safety things about being very careful with the LCD, the edges of that LCD.
Let's go by.
That's our box. This is our box of
Need scissors, don't you?
Yeah, or a
our
blade.
box of crap.
Yeah. I'll just grab a blade.
It's in the same room, so.
Yeah. In our OB room.
Okay.
So that's got all the that's what you
Mind your
you
ears.
see your picture on the screen, because the light shines through there, and this is where all your picture is. So when you see a TV screen or a computer screen that's just all smashed, it looks like it's physically been smashed. It's just that all the crystals in here have been broken if that gets damaged. The rest of it is still okay. So what you think is like unrepairable, you can't do anything with it, you still can. Because you don't want that anyway, because that's just going to give less light to it. So that one can go in the bin. We have to keep that part. Yeah, there. So, okay. And how are we going for screws on there?
Well, there might be a few more. I think I took out the screws on this face.
Yeah. And around the edges, and it's just a matter of
around the edges, so
just prising it off.
So there are.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Is it the
Yeah,
front bezel
yeah.
that comes off, or is it this that lifts out?
Yeah.
Or both?
Yeah. No screws there. I think that plastic thing comes off, so we'll just
Okay.
get that off. We're going to have to put it back on again, so I don't want to
Okay.
break it.
So.
That's it.
Yep.
So that's there.
So this is clipped in, I
Yeah.
assume, is it?
Yeah.
Slightly thinner. That's a thicker one, isn't it?
And those wires, Ron, they go to the compact fluorescent.
That's correct. Yeah.
Which run down either at the long,
So that's-
either long side.
That's this side.
Yeah. It's coming off. Yeah.
Yep. Do you want to? Mm-hmm.
Ah, there we go.
That's got it.
Yeah. Pretty well. I'll clip that. Where'd that screw come from? There. Oh, yeah.
Probably is better if it's not a two-man job.
Yeah.
We are listening on R2 now. Sorry, I didn't bring it in, but it is here now. So if you want to ask any questions, go through R2 or the YouTube chat channel.
Okay. Now, something important, we have to make sure that whichever order these come out, they've got to go back in again. So if that was the top, we'll just sit down like that. Okay. Now, have a closer look at this. Yeah, lay down on the back. Right, so we've got the compact fluorescent tubes going down either side. And they
Just show us up. So they run just along those long sides.
Yes, yeah. Actually, that might just come out.
Yeah.
Just-
Feeds
we
into
just
this
get
large
this-
pane of.
Yeah. With the backing thing on it.
Is that glass or plastic?
Plastic or
Yeah.
acrylic.
Acrylic.
Now, which order was that? Was that like that?
No, that was. Yeah. You had that right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't know if you can see those tubes there now.
Because if you catch it right on the edge.
Just quickly, Ron, those screens or filters that you just pulled out, it's very important to keep them in the right orientation.
Yes. Yeah. So when you put it back in, yes.
How does it work that it makes an even distribution of light? Like
Good
just
question,
going in
Rex.
at the edge?
Good question. Yeah. I'll take this off. You might be able to see. Oh. Now, can you see?
There's a pattern.
Can you see the little dots on there? There's a whole bunch of little dots. So, can you see all that? So the light coming on the side hits that, and I think basically,
So they're like right angle
yeah, something
I guess
like that.
reflectors
Yeah.
or something.
Correct
Yeah.
would be a diffuser, wouldn't it?
Or reflector or something. Yeah.
I think it's probably a combination.
Mm.
Because if it was just a diffuser, I would have more pattern on there. So I think the pattern is it reflects into that piece of material. But these are the interesting things.
Yeah.
Because this is a combination of a lens, so a lenticular lens.
Yeah.
So the next layer we had, I think, is just like a diffuser. So that's just like a
Oh, I see. Yes, yes.
Like that. Now this is the interesting one.
Just the one, or there's two?
Yeah. So you can see that.
And
The
just
effect.
hold it up to the camera because you'll see the interference patterns.
Ah, yeah. Kind of.
That's the lenticular lens.
Is it a lot of little
It's
lens?
lots of little
Oh, right.
little cylindrical lenses.
Okay, yeah.
So as the light comes through, it's diffused out. Because if you take that off and you look at the light, the light's going everywhere. Whereas you put the lens on there and it's quite a directed light.
Okay.
And then the last one is just another diffuser again, I think. So there's not really anything in there. So I think all the magic's done in that acrylic with the pattern underneath it to bend the light or whatever, and then this one to focus it.
So this ends up being a lot heavier than, for example, the ones that you and I took apart, which seem...
Because they were laptop ones.
Oh,
Yeah, we got them out of the
right,
laptop.
right.
Yeah, this is a full monitor.
And
Yeah.
did they make these with gloves?
Oh, I don't know.
Because that would be a lot heavier.
Yeah.
That would be a hell
It'd be more harder to work with. How would you put all the little dimples on it? As
I reckon they're silk screen on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's what I reckon.
Probably in both cases.
Well, they could even be laser cut.
Hmm.
You can't feel them.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Right.
So anyway, we'll put that together. Hopefully the right order. And we'll need to get these out. Now we've got to be really
Right.
careful with these.
So they are...
I think they're taped in.
Ah,
Yeah.
what have we got here?
Yeah. I don't think we need to undo them, those screws. I
Okay.
don't remember us doing that before. It'll just, yeah, there's tape around there, that white
This
tape.
is the same problem with ordinary fluorescent lights that you don't want
So,
to catch
Justin, in
But
that...
this is 10 times worse because they're about 1/8 of an inch in diameter tubes,
And they're very fragile.
and there's two
Yeah.
of them and they're really fragile. And it's so easy to break them, and then you end up with shards of glass. Sorry.
Yeah.
Paul?
Oh, in that
Yeah.
plastic box, because of branding, I won't say what the name on the side of it is. There's a blue-handled knife edge in there. Thank you. Box cutter. All right, camera, so I'm putting on my best Australian accent.
Now I think if we cut this wire at the back, it'll, because the wire's at the back and the compact fluorescent tube's at the front. That's what's sort of like holding it in.
So this is a bit of looking at what's there
Yeah.
and working out how you get it out.
There's two wires there.
So just these two here?
Yeah.
Just cut them?
Yeah, there's wires at the back.
But
Yeah.
you can see why it's the compact fluorescents that fail, and most monitors when one of them
And then, here we go.
fails-
Here we go. Not that.
Yeah, VK7HXT, VK7HXT, go ahead, Harry.
Ah, I see, yeah.
Yeah.
VK7HXT,
careful with it.
Yep,
VK7HXT, go ahead. Hold that thought, because we'll actually go into that in a short while when we put the LED strips in, Harry.
You might want to mention
on
something.
one edge there's a single one, on the other edge is a double.
No, they're both double.
Oh, they're both double,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And are they above it? If they sit one above each and below each other, do they?
Yeah.
One
So
on this
all like
side,
that. So,
one on this side.
yeah, so they're both shining
Shining
yeah.
into
into
the-
that diffuser.
Right. Do they have something behind to the light that?
Oh, there's a little white reflector strip.
Oh, now you,
Yeah. Yeah, you can see that white tape in there.
now you might want to mention about care of these.
Do you happen to know what power is required to work those?
It's like a fluorescent tube, so
Yeah.
there's actually a high voltage power supply in the in the actual power supply, and they're both separately powered.
It's amazing all this can be done and sold for negligible amount
Yeah,
of money, isn't
yeah.
it?
I won't put them in there because if we throw stuff in there, they'll break.
Because
that's all right.
these
So-
are because these are compact fluorescents. You just like any fluorescent, you want to treat them carefully and not break them.
But these are really easy to break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are not really. No, throw them in there.
You reckon?
That's fine. If they break, they break.
Ah.
They're about what? They're about twice the size around. For those that can't get a perspective, is what like a straight spaghetti piece of spaghetti.
The tubes are about 1/8 of an inch in diameter, and there's 2 of them per side. So they're and they are just so fragile.
Yeah.
Do you want to pass the LED?
That's true.
Right. Right, and this is what we're going to replace them with. Oh, shall we test our...
Our assembly line has already come unstuck.
No.
What's come unstuck?
Oh well, yeah.
One we prepared earlier.
Yeah. So this is just a roll of 12 volt LEDs, 5 millimeters in width. So we'll just
It's the thinnest.
Are they all in parallel, are
They're made up to be a 12 volt strip.
they? Right, so there's some sort of series.
Resistor in there? There is.
Oh, in each one?
Yeah. I think maybe in every couple. There are.
Yeah.
Actually, there are.
they're in groups of 3, I think.
Just zoom in. We'll try and zoom in
Yeah.
on this because
It's
they're
about
actually
4 LEDs.
They've got foil. There. Just point to where your thumb is.
This one?
Just there. These have actually got places marked where you
Where you
can
can
snip
cut 'em.
them,
Yeah.
and then solder on another lot of leads at regular intervals, and they all run off 12 volts. So
Yeah. Because this is a 5 metre length.
yeah.
So we just need to measure this out.
Probably 3 of them getting up to about 9 volts and then about 3 volts used to stabilise them.
Well and truly.
Yeah.
So like-
Yeah. So when you're looking at it, you can work out the closest. Here we go. I don't know if you wanted to show that.
So
Yeah.
sleep at the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
So there's that's where it's joined in there. So that would be the place where to cut it. If you cut it outside of the groupings, then you,
Liable to do some
Yeah.
issues, have some issues.
yeah. So we'll just cut that there.
You can either go shorter or longer. That's the
Yeah. Yeah, so a little bit longer is, and what I've done in the past is just go around the corner a little bit if it's just a little bit too long. Yeah, so we'll just cut that one.
cool. And they've got little copper pads that you can then solder wires to. So
Right. Now, what we need to do here, Paul, remember we were saying about the side that had the little,
Yes.
where the wires come out?
Yeah, I believe that was that side.
Where was that bit? What's the part that it went through?
Well, it's
there
the
it
black
is. There.
surround.
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
So yes.
Can we make sure, because it's a 50-50 chance otherwise when we put it back together.
This was difficult to mark with a black marker.
Yeah, I think we can tell by looking at, see this has got one thing there and one
Yes.
there. Yeah, whereas that's got,
Yep.
yeah. So it would be this side,
Okay,
I reckon,
right,
if
now
that's where
that-
it comes out. Yeah.
But I believe this fit. Did this fit?
Oh, it went that way.
Yes.
But it's just, we just needed that to be on the right side.
Right.
So that means the cable comes out this side.
Right.
Yeah, round that way. Yeah. We did one of these once before and we had the cable coming out the wrong side, and there is a little recess where the cable comes out, and because we had it on the wrong side and didn't notice it, when we put it back together again, the sharp edges went in and then just cut the wire. We noticed it before we powered it on though. Yeah. So what I'll just do here is pick a roundabout. Is that going to fit? Oh, look at that.
Well, it is coming off. We'd either have to trim or...
No, we have to go with that length. So we just,
where's the next?
No, it's too short.
Yeah,
See
way down here.
Yeah,
Right,
so we'll
okay.
just pull it off and stick it on.
Yep.
Ron, can you pass me the lead strip and I'll stick this on the other one?
Ah, okay.
No, that's right. I was just going to solder these.
Yeah.
Is that right?
So just give it a roundabout.
Oh, wouldn't you believe it?
What's that?
Well, I peeled the backing off, but the sticky side came with it as well. So it left no adhesive on the... It seems to be doing the same there.
So just pull the adhesive. I found that too. Just,
well, you have to get the adhesive off the...
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I found that. Ah, here we go. Now it's working.
You got it? Oh,
yeah,
good.
feel that?
Yep.
Yeah. So
I would have had to have gotten out the microscope.
Get this. So that's that one there. One somewhere out there, I think.
You got it?
I think so. Oh, okay. So this LED's right at the end. How's that at that end?
It's still coming over.
There you go, Ron.
Right. About there.
Okay.
Oh,
There you
I
go.
see. Yep.
Yeah.
Got it. Seen it with back.
Right. I also brought some super glue if you want to give it a dab of reassurance.
Well, it's all going to be put in. It should. No, it should.
Simply referred to as a dab of reassurance.
Oh, there's lots of things that I can say that you've never heard before. Chances are I haven't either. There you go. You've got those guitarist fingernails.
See if the sticky stuff is. Oh, yeah, that worked. Yeah, because the same happened to me. I pulled that off and the sticky stuff come off.
You get your... Yep.
I might be able to go a little further down there somewhere. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, no, it's coming.
It's a bit more than that one.
Yeah. I'll get this set up and you pull it tight.
Okay. You got her.
About
Where
there.
you want it.
Yeah.
And I'd suggest that when you put this in, you press like this, because if you put your fingers in there and then draw it along along there to set it in, you're going to have a paper cut that you've never
Just
had
make sure
before.
this is working before we.
There we go.
Yeah, so that's okay.
Thank you.
And this one. Yep.
So how many watts is that?
What? Oh. Is it written on the case there?
Well, 6.5 watts per metre.
Okay, so that's about 4 watts.
Not much.
It doesn't draw a lot of very much power, so they're quite efficient. Yeah.
Okay.
Right, so next, leave that there. This one goes back in. Hopefully we're around the right way.
Now orientation.
Well, I hope we got it the right way. We'll soon find out.
There's usually little tags on the
Yes.
pressed metal,
Yeah.
so you can only put it in one way. Now you can get away with one strip.
And,
So-
and it'll be fairly even distributed across
Yeah.
the whole
Well,
thing?
yeah.
That's pretty
It
amazing.
is amazing. Yeah.
This is actually, if you
But
Yeah,
the
we
two
might have to do
strips
that.
Gives you,
Gives you
because this is
stopping it.
This is 2 strips, one on either side. So,
What was that?
and it's interesting with that lens.
I think that went in there. That went under.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
you're
this
right.
is,
I
this
see what
is
you're
about
saying.
the field of view.
Okay, what I
So-
suggest is I lift just the plastic up,
It's just interesting to.
and then you try and snug. Well, I think if you try and snug that down. Yeah. Unless. This isn't. See here, Ron?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that was happening at the other end. Yeah.
I'm saying.
Since they've changed to LEDs, presumably they don't fail, don't
They don't. Much less.
Yeah.
Much less. So,
So if you put it angled and then get the edge.
although, mate,
Okay.
I have a HP monitor at home. Actually, I should have brought that along. HP monitor at home that powers up, and you see the screen, and then it turns itself off.
Now it seems to be more
When I
towards one
searched
end
up
than the
what
other.
was going on with the
So we'll
screen,
have to.
the
Because this
most
needs to fit
common
in
fault
around it,
is
right?
Yes.
One
Yeah,
of
so that'll be
the
next,
compact
I
fluorescent
think.
So we're just gonna face fit everything and see how it.
and it tells the
how it shines.
Adjust the monitor there.
Yeah, we can have another
You
test
see
now.
the screen come
Yeah.
up, and then it just goes off. So it actually senses whether the compact fluorescents are working or not. So
You want to try doing them both at once?
Oh no, we'll just
Right.
make sure everything's all still there.
there we go.
Yeah. So that one's
So,
still working.
so Rex,
alright.
that's with one. That's just,
Well, it didn't look that strong over here, but.
Well, once it gets to your face.
and it is a little bit darker on the edge that hasn't got one.
Oops.
Yes, it is, a little bit.
Yeah. So this one's designed for 2, but there are some which we might find in some of these other
It actually
ones.
looks darker there.
It's probably yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. We'll just see.
All right.
See that? To me, looks darker right along the edge.
Well, it's only getting lit. Yeah.
Yeah.
From this angle, I can actually see the LED.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So now it's a matter of trying to get that black thing back in with
So it was this way, wasn't it? Yes.
yeah. And it sort of comes around.
Actually, when I said it was darker on the edge, probably where the lights are, it's fraction lighter, and you see the dark.
Just cut that off.
Between, relative.
That's how it
And
goes.
from this angle, I'm actually seeing each individual LED with the darkness in between each.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So if we get this.
The diffuser's doing what it's
What I want to
designed
do is get some of it in place so I can
diffuse
get
the light,
close
but
enough.
also diffuse
Yeah.
the
No,
dark
see,
in
that's
between.
not. That's a little bit too
Right, well,
tight, maybe.
Oh, that'll do. Yeah. That'll
even
do.
out the darkness? No.
Get it in there.
No, that doesn't work.
I think it's a relative measurement. It looks dark because it's darker relative to the light.
So now it's just fiddly getting it all back together.
So this clips back in, does it?
Yeah.
It-
Once we get it all lined up.
So that goes on the outside, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and those things clipped around the outside.
Now we're also going to have to line those tags. That might be a problem. Well, if you look at this end, you will see that these tags, it fits flush to the,
We just got
you fold it over, but it's got an LED.
that we can bend the wire and the LED
Right.
can just sit there like that.
So-
Yeah.
Okay.
And tell me whether there is an echo. I think we've got rid of the echo.
We had an echo last week, which I think might have been an OBS artifact. Excellent. Because there's two channels.
Echo. Oh, yeah, fix it, yeah, just.
Thanks, mate. There's always one.
See those, these have a slot that goes in around.
So maybe you could get a close-up of this here, Justin, because this is the next fiddly part. Maybe this side first. This is where the
So this
the
is
wires had to fit through, and these were what Ron was talking about when he said last time he had them and they were cut on those edges. They didn't get fed through these
there's a
particular
little groove,
slots.
Yeah, we had that 180 degrees out.
Is that,
okay.
did you get that? Yep.
Yeah.
And then,
That's this specific model.
and then this side, Ron's working on fitting this back in, and specifically with these one LED tabs from our measurement still curled around the side.
Yeah. It's just because of the length of
Yes.
it. Yeah.
So you've just got to make sure you push those LED strips in.
Mm.
Yeah. This is close.
Because this plastic bezels what to basically locate the metal.
Well, I believe it has an edge that actually also holds down the lenses and diffusers
Yes.
along here.
Oh, okay.
So if you see this, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, you see this black bit here,
Hang on.
here, and then you see this gray strip.
Yeah.
That's actually overhang that holds, I believe, frames in
The filters.
the filters.
Okay.
But this is being a bit recalcitrant here.
Something's just holding it at the end here.
Yeah, you just press until it goes, don't you?
As long as it's not the LED. Might be.
I just have a funny feeling that one LED is a bit too thick. You could knock it off.
Oh, I don't think we can.
no.
No. I'll just fold him back up into there.
I'm here to provide a public service announcement of what not to do.
Yes.
Good work, Paul.
Always happy to be a crash test dummy.
It's a bit tricky, isn't it?
Oh no, this is the stuff they don't show you in the videos because
Yeah.
in
No.
the videos everything goes together perfectly, and they edit out all of the bits that don't quite go to plan.
Just like a cooking show.
Yeah, one I prepared earlier.
This is the part where all the viewers are fast forwarding through.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Ron
Okay.
got it,
That's
excellent.
good. Excellent.
So then I guess you just go around and make sure that all those
Let's make
ends
sure they still
click
work.
into place.
Cool.
There's one.
Let's make sure it still works.
Oh, true. All right, back to your end.
Yeah, because we've been buggerising around with the
Yeah.
end.
Yep,
Nice.
That's good. Oh,
Nice.
beautiful. Okay. Right, what's next? This bit, I think. Take this off here.
Oh,
This is the fun bit.
Is that just glued on?
so
Yeah, it was just stuck on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you had some numbers there, didn't you?
I thought I put lines in, unless we
No, you did.
oh, we got to put this
Yeah.
in.
How do you
Yep.
all the connections?
So have a look.
Obviously the
Yeah.
matrix.
Which way?
Well,
You can see
here I
why
am.
if
Sorry.
you took something that
So-
didn't work into a repair shop, they wouldn't be interested in talking to you, would they?
So
Oh, there we
this-
go. So it's like this. So this is the orientation.
And how does it fit with this?
Well, this has to go back inside this
Yeah,
plate. Up. So I was looking at it from this perspective, right?
Mhm.
So that would have been up. So that would have been up. So that would have been up. I mean, we do have a 50-50
Oh,
chance
yeah.
here.
So those two gaps there were where
Yep.
the wires went through.
Right, so
that,
you wanna,
yeah.
Where the original wires.
Yeah, the original wire.
These wires don't go through.
oh, they don't.
No. Don't they?
Yeah.
Of course
Oh,
they
they do? Okay.
Yeah.
I just put them at the end. I did the lazy
Okay,
back.
sorry, so.
Well, this is a different one. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, so here we go, here.
Yeah. That's where the compact fluorescent wires come through
Yes.
originally.
Yeah.
And you can see on here, this one's got two compact fluorescent tubes.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
there's actually two high voltage connections.
So you might want to channel those so they don't get cut.
Yeah, that's what happened the last time. Yeah.
A
That's
couple
it.
hundred
Okay,
volts.
and then,
400 volts at least.
Yeah.
and then that.
So it's just one.
Yeah?
No,
So,
like,
Yeah, but I was just wondering whether or not it'd be worthwhile, like something.
okay.
well, there are videos online about converting, taking out compact fluorescents and putting
Ron,
LEDs
can
in.
you
And for,
take
it's
that,
usually specific to a particular monitor,
3.5
because then
mil
they
socket
show
off so
you
you can
where
set
on
this a
the
bit
monitor
flatter
power supply
off of this?
pick up the 12
Ah,
volts
yeah,
or the
okay.
5
Unless
volts.
that's not Phillips, right?
Oh, it can be either.
Yeah,
That's why you
it's
do
probably
Phillips,
going to be
because the others are a little bit
the
thin.
power supply, and it's a switch range power supply, which is pretty scary.
And,
Oh,
that silver tape, did you save it or did you ball it up and throw it away?
It's down in here.
Just gonna
so
slap a
it'd
little bit
be
of that on,
Like 100 volts, I reckon. Yeah.
just rip it in half and,
It would have to be some sort of pulse because you've got to get it to strike. So,
these all look,
and they're probably got the power supply is probably a shaped power supply.
Oh, well,
so
just
when
this.
you switch it on, it gives this pipe, this
And
high
then
pulse to get it to strike, and then
this
it drops
was
down to running voltages.
up. I believe it goes like this. Oh, wait a second, we probably need to screw these in back in
I've got a
first, yeah.
feeling, did that go on first before we put this on? This was last, wasn't it? I think that went on. Yeah.
Ooh, could be.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll take that off.
Well,
Yeah, this is the last bit.
Right,
This would have been the
okay.
first bit that we took off. Yeah.
You have your power going in each side, and then the starter is across the
Right, so what I'll do is I'll
line
tip
is
that over
through
like
each
that.
filament around to the starter. in the
Tip
middle.
that over like that. And let's put that.
We're one.
okay, so that was the way, that was the orientation. So it was going to be
He's
like,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's gonna be like this, I believe.
You'll soon see
The
because
LED, no,
where it lines
these
up.
are
No, those-
arrays of.
What are
they're
the clips they're
of
lining, I guess they're lining up on that and that.
bottoms. And in
But
fact,
that doesn't seem right, let's
these
try
are
it like
two
this.
strips. There will be a strip of white and there will be a strip of yellow.
No,
And
that
you
doesn't
can-
seem-
The mixing of the two of them gives you
No.
your warm colour, your hard colour, or in between.
No, that seems right
That's
like
how
that.
you get those.
yes. Yeah.
And they run off, I think it's 36 volts. Power supply put out 36 volts.
We have a question here from Harry.
Oh, cool.
Could you put a USB connection on the end, or does it have to have a PowerPoint connector?
USB is 5 volts. You probably could run them off 5 volts, but they'd be reasonably dark.
Yeah. So the
But you could get LED strips that run off 5 volts and put them in instead, in its place. Because USB is 5 volts.
yeah, and these are 12 volt LEDs. Yeah.
But you probably can get 5 volt LED strips.
No, we didn't. Well, we just need to be
Yeah.
careful with our.
Probably put the tape closer to the end to hold it.
I also want to bring that red wire around on that side, so it's furthest away from the.
Maybe just.
These new.
And I'm a bit concerned about this black wire here, because you see it's under
It's
the
right on
edge.
the edge, yeah. So
Look it up. Google it for
a
me.
little tip for the next one, these wires that we put on there a bit more length.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Because they need to be joined together and they're going to be a bit short.
And
so.
I didn't realise you put them through the hole in the back.
Hmm.
Oh, no, you did. You ended up not doing it.
No, we needed to put this outside bit on first before we put the back on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just a bit concerned about.
Yeah, no, that needs to go a little bit better.
And
Yeah.
one word of caution around safety. These are usually all this metal work is usually punched out, and the edges can be fairly sharp.
Yes.
So just be a little bit careful.
So, I'm sitting here doing exactly what you shouldn't be doing at the moment, so if it turns a bit Quentin Tarantino here, I apologize.
Your problem. I'll just go and get the samurai sword.
Yes. Oh, I want to see you in yellow lycra.
Yeah.
Sorry, children.
Industrial build for all turning to vampires.
What do you think, Ron?
Yeah. Yeah, that's much better.
Okay, so now we're down this way. Did I just hear roll? Not that. Right, I'm sorry, so this has to go now. And what did we find? That it was.
Yeah, as long as those
Yeah.
two holes are on that end.
Yeah. Why don't you feed those through?
Yeah, that's what.
Your one?
No, that'd be $20.
Okay.
They can.
Across this way a bit further.
$20,
Just missing this one over here.
60 or 100 watts. Sense the profile. There you go.
Powerful those little USB-Cs.
So you can pull your laptops and charge by the USB-C, so this one must be more
Yes.
powerful. But an output out of this because your devices plug into an
I think is it. Hang on. It's got to go in the.
It's not.
all of them.
So we bring that.
That's it.
You got it? Ah, well done. Now you want to test it again, now that it's,
Yeah, well, we're at the.
are we in there?
So
This looks a bit high this side, even though those they're lining up. Like the.
The screw.
There it is there.
Yeah,
That's because they can deliver 2 amps by the way.
yep. So,
Well, that's probably enough
yeah,
to.
I'm gonna step out of the frame for a second.
Make sure it still works.
So is that through actually a data transfer?
It has to negotiate.
So it says, okay, what's your USB port capable of? It says 2 amps, so we'll draw 2 amps.
No, I think it's the device that's going into it. It's what you've got, quite clearly.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's all. Like this one,
Can you deliver this? Yes.
kind of like, I imagine kind of like Dax negotiation. Not as common as I want it to be. I don't know.
Keep dropping until we get a synchronous.
The wires need to be a bit longer.
Devices can specify.
Yes.
Right, so we'll see if we can get that.
That's a good one. As we said earlier, this is a warts and all presentation, so you actually get to see the
This is, you know how
the
they
issues
have,
and not issues.
Well,
You know
it's
how they
lighting
have
up,
a-
so
oh,
it's,
nice.
it's working.
Cool.
you know how they have on Instagram, you know, the tag, no filter? This is no editing.
Too right.
All right, well, there we go.
Right, screws.
So that's really about it, well, apart from putting the screws back in.
That's excellent. Do you reckon we can screw one of those connectors on?
Oh, I might be able to.
Yep.
And then we'll show it as a finished product. And we'll then go back to the studio. And we'll magically do all the rest. Magically do all the rest. Oh, hello. There you go. Oh.
And a failure of ballroom dancing, so
Oh,
I
okay.
called in to say hello. Not enough ladies.
As long as you don't get your venues confused.
No.
I love it. Pull up a chair.
I'm sorry? Oh, sorry.
You want to?
That's all right. We've had the yellow light come in before. That's
Yeah.
fine.
I mean, I don't have.
It's all right, 7 seconds, mate.
A pair of strippers.
There we go again.
There we go again.
Quick, where's your sensor?
Can I have the insulation removal device?
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we want to make this G-rated.
Yes.
Yes. Now, one of the reasons we're actually doing this is we are improving our workbench, and we were thinking of putting these underneath the shelf to light the workbench. So, so that's one of the uses that we're going to be doing with these particular devices.
I'll tell you, these monitors with these cases and the way these went in, I'd make a recommendation to anybody that had a choice between having a laptop display now and waiting to find a monitor display, maybe not exactly like this, but at least with some of the trappings of the casing around here and things like this, wait for the monitor. Because look at this. I have two still sitting in a crate that I haven't completed yet because I'm scratching my head on what's going to be enclosed. And I'm lazy.
As a Harry comments, these slides would be great for those in photography for lighting area.
Yeah.
Yes.
And ATV studios.
But I'm also thinking sort of, what would you call it, object or industrial photography where you have images of objects.
Light
with a
box.
completely
Like a light box lighting,
light
yes.
background, no shadow, in other words?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And
Because
then
you could
Ron.
actually put like on three,
just for
maybe
show.
four
Oh, okay,
sides,
yeah.
even underneath, so you get, and no shadows. Perfect lighting.
There we go.
Oh, look at that. Excellent.
Can you put a dimmer on it?
Too bright.
Are those lens dimmable?
That's well and true.
Yep.
It's purely resistive, so yeah.
So if you can get dimmers for any set of LEDs that you find from King's or something like that, they would no doubt work with those. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's purely resistive, so. Little pulse width modulation, actually in the shack, probably not, but.
Yeah, I was going to say, how noisy.
Yeah.
Depend, I
A
suppose.
little linear power supply.
Correct. we are using a little switch mode power supply here, which is a plug pack, and we've just all we've done is put. That's probably a thing that we. All we've done is put one of these little
Oh, you
plug
can see
pack
it on there.
sockets with little screw terminals on
So
the other side.
the reel of
LED.
LEDs, how long is that?
5 metres.
5 meters, and what's that cost?
About $36.
Yeah.
If you know where to get it.
Yeah.
It's a little
Yeah.
bit more from.
And this is the thin LED strip, so it is actually the strip that's only 5 mil
Yes. Yeah.
in width. The normal strip Actually,
That could be like 8mm or 10mm.
correct. I think it's
Yeah.
10mm. The normal
Yeah.
strip is
Too
10.
wide.
Too wide to go in. Yeah.
So the 5mm will fit pretty much everything.
And the more LEDs per metre too is better. You get a
This
better.
is sort of an eBay purchase.
Now this comes from Wes actually.
Where's electronics? Yeah.
That's where all those Wes catalogues came from when I ordered it.
Yeah.
Where have they gone?
They sit. The
Oh, did you
catalogs
get multiples?
These, did they?
I picked up the box and I went, hang on, I only ordered 2 LED strips and some connectors. It can't be that heavy. Then I realised they'd thrown a catalogue in.
So we now need to do that 6 more times.
Excellent, excellent. We might retire to the
Yes.
the studio.
Yeah.
And we'll finish off and then we'll do the other 5, 6.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, welcome back to the studio. Oh, there's a whole lot of things in here. Richard. Richard Howlett, the beacon, 10 gig beacon at -18. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I hope that gives people a bit of a view of how you go about converting them safely, you end up with the panels. We're intending to use the panels for the lighting on the workbench, but you can use them. Now, Ron, tell us about how you've used them in your hallway.
Yes, yeah. So we have a hallway that's a little bit dark, and there was consideration just for putting a normal skylight in, but going through the whole thing of cutting a hole in the ceiling and in the roof and all that sort of stuff. It's got to be an easy way of doing it. That's why we've got onto this idea. So I've got a couple of them in the hallway, and I've got a solar panel sitting up on the roof. So the solar panel feeds the LED lights just directly. So during the day, the hallway's all nicely lit up. Yeah,
I love it. That's excellent.
Yeah, very easy to do.
And it imitates having a light tube.
Yes,
basically.
Yeah, there's people that don't know. They think it's a normal solar skylight.
Yep.
A normal skylight, but it's actually being driven from a solar panel.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And how big's the solar panel? Very big.
It's bigger than it needs to be.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, there was a special. Someone was having a special on solar panels, so I just bought it on. I'm trying to think it might be.
Probably a 20-watt one or something like that.
Yeah.
Bit of sort of 300 mil square or something.
Yeah, it's it works really well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that drives both panels, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No. So there's another option for a faux light tube. Very good. So thank you very much, Ron. That's
pleasure.
excellent. That is really, really good. And I hope it's given people a bit of inspiration to not throw out those broken LCD monitors and think about actually making them into a light panel for your workbench or your photography box with Harry there. So that's excellent. So I'll just do a little bit of a reminder. Next week we have workshop number 3 of the GNU Radio Companion, and we'll be actually getting into some hands-on stuff next week. What we've been doing in the last couple of workshops is lots of how does the tool work, how do you actually use the tool, and all of that sort of stuff. And in the next workshop we're actually going to be getting into some really hands-on stuff and actually building some things as exercises. And just a reminder, the second annual YouTube Hamfest for 2021, which Hayden and Ham Radio DX is actually participating in. That's on the weekend of May the 28th to the 30th, and there is a whole lot of stuff going on YouTube. So go into YouTube, put in second annual Hamfest any time during that weekend, and lots of activities happening. June the 2nd, Wednesday, our presentation night is by Mike Hawkins, VK7DMH, on satellite communications, and we're hoping to actually have a demonstration on the night, depending on what satellites are heading over us, and see what's going on. And then on August the 4th, we've got a presentation night on contesting by Martin, VK7GN, on HF contesting, and our very own, who is on the stream, Richard, VK7ZBX, on VHF and above, microwave contesting. So Richard's listening to the beacon, the 10 gig beacon off the moon right at the moment, according to the chat channel. So good stuff. So that's what's coming up. We'll head to our we'll head back out to do a few more, I hope, a few more panels. And word from our sponsor. But one of the things we'll broadcast a few of our videos tonight. A bit of promo around the Hamfest. A video on exactly what we've just done, which is converting smash TVs. So that's a television, that's like a 42 or a 56 inch television panel to a lighting panel as well. So don't forget televisions as well, you can do the same thing. And we've got a little bit of a video on finding out what life is like on an Antarctic station, which has come from the Antarctic Division, Australian Antarctic Division. And if we get to it, a video by Peter Parker, VK3YE, a 10-minute 7 megahertz QRP transmitter, and more. So that's our videos for our RF viewers tonight. So thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of it, and this will be all available on the Reast YouTube channel. So this is, and thank you very much for coming along, right?
Thank you.
So 73, and we'll catch you next time. This is VK7OTC, the club station of the Radio and Electronics Association of Southern Tasmania, with our DATV experiment tonight, and catch you next time. 73.
Let's do that.